So, getting a workout, writing in your journal, speaking more kindly to your kids. No matter what your personal goal, it takes personal discipline to get you there. But how can you strengthen that muscle, develop discipline, and really hold to it when no one else is around to hold your feet to the fire, so to speak? Studio 5 relationship coach Dr. Matt Townsend is here with some strategies to try. It's great to see you, my friend.
Thank you. Good to be here.
We know you most often in your role as our relationship coach, our favorite relationship friend. But you spent a lot of years, I don't know if people realize this, at Franklin Covey, learning at the feet of Stephen Covey. So this organizational discipline is in you.
It's way in me, and it's the hardest thing I do. That's one of the reasons. I actually remember being like 19 years old wanting to learn how to be more disciplined. And now at 48, 48,
there it is.
I still want to be more disciplined. But I've got a trick for you, because I bet you're actually more disciplined than you think.
Really?
Yeah. We're going to sneak it in on you.
I'm thinking of this personally. I bought these journals for Emmy in Boston. I really wanted to sit down, write in those, kind of reflect, and really there's one entry, I think, in Emmy's journal. I haven't been able to personally sit down at the end of every night like I wanted to. So what's holding me back, do you think?
Well, and it's interesting, too. Notice you want to. You care about it.
Yes.
That's the thing you want to move, and yet we still don't do it. Well, one of the reasons, and we'll go through a bunch, but one of the reasons is probably because you may be trying to like force the writing in the book or the discipline to write in the book in a way that may not be the way you are driven or are motivated.
Okay.
Here's what I mean by that. So what I believe is we need to learn to magnify really the discipline that we already have, our existing discipline. Use it more instead of hoping to get more. So I would look at discipline like a finite resource. You've got so much of it. And if you've already got some of it, let's just go find out where you do use it. Like you do a show, and it takes incredible discipline. You call it deadlines. So interestingly, having deadlines probably drives more discipline and focus for you. Where not having a deadline when you can write in the journal whenever doesn't help you as much. So I want you to almost imagine it, that it's kind of like, and I learned this in a really weird way. Right when I got married, I never put my towel away after I would use it. I know, it's so weird. And my wife is like, why don't you put your towel away?
I'm laughing because doesn't every married couple go through this? I mean, you're describing me and Mark in the first 3 months of our marriage.
It's a towel, and I had never thought of it. And my wife really was praying that I'd have more discipline. But I've actually taken all of these assessments and found out I'm not a really disciplined person. So actually, being like self-driven and responsible, self-driven person, self-regulating person is like my lowest trait that I have.
Really?
Yeah.
That surprises me.
But my #1 trait is social intelligence. So here's what I've noticed over years. I still now hang up my towel most of the time. Sometimes I forget. But when I hang it up most of the time, every time I'm hanging it up, do you know who I'm thinking of?
Marty.
Marty. I don't hang up my towel because it's responsible or because I'm disciplined. I hang up my towel because it's connected socially to my intelligence of Marty, and I know that would make her happy.
Gotcha.
And so what I've done is I've actually created a discipline, not through just self-regulating, but through finding where it motivates me more. Some people, for example, with the journal, you might be able to find another motivation. What would you want your kids to say, or how would you want them to respond to you when they're married and you can turn over all of their journals? And say, there you go.
And that's what I'm going for.
There's
I want
your
them to know
life
they had
history.
a mom who cared and noticed every detail.
That's powerful. So if you would actually go turn on that dream or that spiritual connection or that love or that just that sense of what you want, that might be a better motivator than trying to push out a little bit more out of Brooke's day.
So when I'm laying in bed at night and I'm thinking, oh, I didn't write in the journal. I wanted to write in the journal daily or weekly or whatever it is. I should flip that thought and think, gosh, what would Emmy think when she's 25 years old and I'm handing this book to her?
And in my world, it was more because my #1 strength with social intelligence is I made it a relational act. I made it to strengthen a relationship. You could make it to strengthen a relationship too. Another really cool tool is you've got to learn to choose to kind of focus and channel your firepower. The research actually shows you only have so much willpower, and by the end of the day, it's gone. And some people are making so many decisions a day that they actually have what's called decision fatigue. They're just tired and they can't make another decision.
That kind of sounds familiar.
And that might be why you can't and you don't have the energy to just pull it out and write on the journal at night, because you already shot through all of your discipline, through all of your focus. So I want you to imagine like a hose, and if we have a hose and we just let the hose run, it's great because we can water things. But if I just restrict the head of the hose a little bit, I actually create more power and I create more direction for how I can use the hose. We sometimes need to restrict things to get them more focused. And if you would maybe restrict other things that aren't as important as the journal, create a little restriction, and it'll allow you to create kind of a more targeted, powerful approach.
I don't want to make this all about me.
Yeah, no,
I mean, I do,
because there's
but
other people.
Let me throw out another example. Working out. A lot of women out there I know say, gosh, it's important to me. I want to be healthier. I want to be more fit.
Totally.
How would that firepower or these principles apply to like getting in a workout?
So how important is the workout to you? What are your other strengths that you already are really good at? Like you're really good on deadlines, so I would have deadlines for my workouts. If you're a social person, I'd have social activity for it. But another rule you could do is remember the 20-second rule. There's a really cool thing I learned that's called activation energy, okay? It takes so much energy to actually do something. And if the activation energy that it takes to actually go work out is bigger than you and your ability to make that happen, you're not going to do it. So a lot of people don't go work out because they've got to go change, get dressed, get the babysitter, get in their car, drive 10 minutes, then go work out, and then do the hard thing. So if you want to make something happen, you want to get it done in 20 seconds, or at least be able to have such low activation energy that it takes nothing to get into it. For example, I watch Netflix all the time. It is my favorite thing on earth, is Netflix. By the way, all it takes for me to get to Netflix is pull on my phone and turn on my phone. The activation energy is 0. That's why I always go there. If I want to make it harder to do Netflix, then I probably ought to take the app off my phone. Or if I leave it on my phone, I probably ought to make it so I have to enter the password every single time I want to watch Netflix.
So making the things you want to do easier, making the things that are stopping you harder.
And especially the energy. If it takes longer than 20 seconds to actually start to do it, you probably are going to have a harder time doing it.
Do routines help us or hurt us in the pursuit of
Routines, in the end, are the
discipline?
key. You want to take everything that we're doing and turn it into a routine, because then the routine is something we don't think about anymore. 20 years ago, I learned to put my keys in a box so I wouldn't lose them every day right when I got home. And guess what? It's a routine now, and I never think about my keys anymore because I've created the routine. The routine is how you habitualize and make a habit out of the discipline. The cool thing about it too, once it's a routine, it's no longer a choice. It's just a routine. And if it's not a choice, then it doesn't start to pull down on my discipline or my willpower, because it's just something I just do. You get up every morning just out of routine, and you even know what to do right when you get up. I have to go to a certain place just because of my age. And I go, and then I know I brush my teeth. I know the order of everything, and I just go in order every time. And then I don't choose.
You're so good.
Isn't that crazy?
You're so good. This is in you. What a gift you have. Thanks for sharing.
Thanks,
we
Brooklyn.
appreciate it. Developing more discipline. And on another topic you're great at, marriage and relationships. You've got a date night coming up that everyone needs to consider signing up for.
And the key is, it's going to be a great topic. It's about how to bring happiness home. Okay, I don't even remember the date. October.
How about November 4th?
It's in November now. November 4th. And what you do, go to datenightswithmatt.com. If you enter in Studio 5, we get Studio 5 listeners a discount. Or viewers.
They're viewers.
I know, it's
You're
the radio
in TV
show.
land right now.
And what's so cool about it is it's about 1,000 people, and we will laugh and party, and you're going to introduce me.
I am preparing my notes.
And we're going to talk about how disciplined you are then.
We are?
Yeah.
I'll be prepared on November 4th to follow through on that.
We'll do a little role play.
Date Nights with Matt, our favorite thing. If you haven't had a chance to join him, join us there. You absolutely need to do it. So we'll link you over to his website from ours. Thank you again, my friend.
Brooke.